In case you're new here, I go on natural history and art adventures in my pop-top Toyota Sienna. Today we'll be continuing our visit to Joshua Tree National Park by checking out Keys View. On the way, we'll pass some cool rock formations. There's Skull Rock, which is right by the side of the road, although there are some cool trails that connect to it. And there's some Joshua trees, which we'll talk a lot more about later in the video. Keys View is accessed from a paved walkway and provides excellent views of the southern side of Joshua Tree National Park. Looking for a place to paint was pretty challenging as I wasn't anticipating how cold it would be up here, but the panoramic views were incredible. I found my spot. After painting for a bit, I decided to take a break back at the car for some tea to warm up. While heading down, I noticed that there were Joshua trees on the ridge, which was pretty impressive given how cold it was. So let's talk about Joshua trees. Joshua trees are a type of Yucca, and Yucca is both the common name and the scientific name for a genus of plants that includes about 50 species. One of the common yucca you'll see in Joshua Tree is Yucca schidigera, which is shorter, up to about 15 feet tall, and more clumpy in its growth form than Joshua trees. It's also more common than Joshua trees and can live down at sea level. Yucca brevifolia is the scientific name for Joshua trees and has shorter leaves than Yucca schidigera, as its name suggests. It is more tree-like than Yucca schidigera and has quite a bit of branching, and they can grow much taller, with the tallest trees reaching about 15 meters or 49 feet. Yucca brevifolia, or Joshua trees, prefer higher elevations, between about 1,500 and 6,000 feet. And they have a more restricted range than Yucca schidigera. Joshua tree are considered to be an indicator species for the Mojave Desert ecosystem of the southwestern United States, where they are endemic. Despite being from a desert environment, Joshua trees can withstand temperatures as low as minus 18 degrees Celsius, or 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Even though yuccas can grow in the mountains, they are xerophytes, which means they specialize in living in dry environments. A broad root system helps them get water, with roots in one case found 11 meters or 36 feet from the nearest Joshua tree. They can live for several hundred years and are an important part of the ecology of North American deserts, as they provide shelter and create habitats for animals, including birds, mammals, and reptiles. They also help enrich the soil. Yuccas have been important to humans in desert environments for thousands of years. They can be used as food and medicinal purposes, and even to make soap. People have been using yucca to make woven goods for at least 10,000 years. The fibers are often used to make cords, baskets, mats, and sandals, paintbrushes, and fishing nets. The spines can be used for sewing. One of the main threats to Joshua trees are wildfires. Joshua trees do not bloom every year. Like most desert plants, their blooming depends on rainfall. But they also need a winter freeze before they bloom. Oops, the wind blew over my camera, so I guess we'll try again. Yucca are in the Lilly family and in the subfamily, which includes agave. Yuccas are distinct from agave due to typically having less succulent leaves, thicker flower petals, and a lack of spines on the leaf edges. Time to go get some more warm tea. The maintained dirt access road for the trail to the historic Lost Horse gold mine in Joshua Tree is located off Keys View Road and is a great place to see a lot of cool Joshua trees. So, what are some of the things we can see from up here? The Santa Rosa Mountains extend about 30 miles along the western side of the Coachella Valley. San Gorgonio Mountain is in the San Bernardino Mountains and is the highest peak in Southern California at 11,503 feet, or 3,500 meters. California's San Andreas Earthquake Fault extends about 750 miles and is part of the tectonic boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. All done. Thank you for joining me on this visit to Keys View in Joshua Tree National Park. I hope you'll come along with me on the next segment of this trip, where we hike up Bryan's Peak in the park. See you next time. One second. Wait, I'll be right back.